Hello everyone, welcome to Alteryx tutorials. In this video, we are going to take a look at some of the tools that are present in the Join tab of the Alteryx tools. In the previous videos, we have already seen the In-Out tab and the Preparation tab and their individual tools that are going to be useful for us while preparing the workflows in Alteryx. In this video, we are going to start a new tab, that is the Join tab. So without any further ado, let us start with the video. In this video, we are going to talk about a very special tool known as the Append Fields tool. This Append Fields tool is present in the Join tab, as you can see, denoted by a purple color. Now, before starting with this tool, what I have already done is I have already input my data, that is the sample superstore data, and from that dataset, I have taken the orders sheet. In case you don't know where to get this data from, you can simply Google sample superstore Excel and that dataset would be downloaded for you. The reason why we are choosing this dataset is because it is having a wide variety of data ranging from text to numbers to location, everything that one could ask for. Furthermore, the dataset is completely clean. There are no inconsistencies, so it would be easier for us to work on it. And once you have downloaded the dataset using the input tool, you can simply just input the data. Then I have used two data cleansing tools which are in the preparation tab to clean the data. Now, in case you are wondering what I have done over here, I recommend you to just go through the previous videos where I have explained this process in a step-by-step fashion. Now, once we have done with all this, let us just go back to our Append Fields tool and bring it up over here. As you can see, the Append Fields tool has two anchors on the input, that is T and S. T stands for target and S stands for source, and there is one output anchor. So let us understand first of all what is this tool all about. Append Fields tool is used to append the fields of one small input which is taken as a source, denoted by the S over here, to every record of another larger input, that is the target. The result is a Cartesian join. Now in a Cartesian join, every row from one table is joined to every row of the other table. Like if there are two tables, table 1 has like 100 rows and table 2 has 1000 rows. So the Cartesian join would be 100 into 1000, that is 100,000 rows in total. So this is what happens in the Cartesian join. And in case you want to perform a Cartesian join on your tables, then you can use this Append Fields option. Okay, the Append Field tool accepts two inputs, which is again a target and a source. The target is a larger data stream and the source is a smaller data stream that provides the records that are added to the target stream. Okay, now in order to configure the tool, here we can see the configuration panel over here. We can use this table to modify the incoming data stream. Here each row is representing an individual column in the table. As you can see, row ID, order date, ship mode, etc. Now here what are the options, what are the things that we can do is we can modify the type of the column. Like right now it's double, but if you want to change it to anything else, you can change it. Like I want int 16 over here, so that its size also decreases. If in the case of the strings you want to change the size, you can do that as well. If you want to rename a column, that also you can do. Like instead of the row ID, I want S number to be present over here, serial number. Okay, so SNO is what I want to rename it. In case you want to provide a description for your columns, that you can also provide. Now what would happen is, once the Cartesian join is performed, this is how the columns would be treated, like with a description, with a renamed value and with a modified type over here. Okay, now this is one thing that you can do. Now in case you want to select multiple fields like this, then there is this options button that is present. There are a bunch of options that you can use, like save or load. That means you can save the field configuration as a .yxft file, which is Alteryx field type file, that can be used in other workflows as well. Then we can use the select option to either select all of the columns or deselect them all. We can change the field type of the highlighted fields. This is only available if all the fields that you have highlighted are of the same type. So you can just change them to a common or a mutual type, right? Next we have is the sort option, which is of course used to sort the columns in ascending or the descending orders, like sort on the original field name, on a new field name, on the field type, or revert to the incoming field order. Next we have is the move option, that is used to move the highlighted columns to the top or the bottom of the list. if you want to perform this option. If you want to add some prefix to the field names, if you want to add suffix to the field names, if you want to remove any prefix, remove any suffix, or if you want to clear all the renames that you have done so far, that you can do using this. If you want the highlighted fields only whose renames you want to clear, that also you can do. Revert all to original type and size, that means all of the changes that you have done would be unchanged, and so on. These are all the options that we have available. Next we have is this option, warn/error on too many records being generated. So in this append fields tool, it performs a Cartesian join, which means the number of the rows of both of these tables are actually multiplied with one another. That means a huge number of rows would be generated, right? So it is a possibility that unintentionally you can produce so many errors. So you can configure the warnings or errors to be reported so that not too many records are being produced. Now for this we have three options. Allow all appends, that means all records would be appended to all the records with no error or warning. Next is warn on appends of more than 16 records. Like if there are more than 16 records in the source file, a warning is reported and the workflow continues processing. Third option is error on appends of more than 16 records. So if there are more than 16 records in the source file, then the error is reported and the workflow stops it processing. So it is just to save the memory and provide a fail safe in case of the errors, right? So I'm going to go with allow all appends just for this case to show you how this tool is gonna work. Okay, so here I have actually run the append fields tool. Let me explain to you quickly that what I have done. The target we have already taken. In the case of source, what we have done is we have taken a few records, around 5,000 records for the source. Now where these records come from the target itself, we created 3 separate Excel sheets on the basis of segment. So if you just go to this particular data, here you will find that there is this field called segment. It has 3 possible values: consumer, home office, and corporate. These are the 3 segments. Okay, so these 3 Excel sheets were created. In one Excel sheet all the consumer related records were there, in another there were all corporate related records, and so on. So just like that, I have taken one more Excel sheet which contains all the consumer records. Now this would act as my source, because source is usually smaller in size than the target. So a total of 5,191 records were in this, and a total of 9,994 records were in this. As you can see over here, the number of the records is shown. So what I have done is I have used these two things in the append tool and run this. After running it, I applied a browse tool. The browse tool is nothing, but it helps us to see that what is going on inside the tool. If you just click over this append fields tool, then you will see that this is the targets field. It is same. The changes that we did here, that was renaming the serial number, row ID to serial number, is not being reflected over here. And in the source, we have the row ID again with all the records present over here. But as soon as we added the browse tool and click on run, then it is going to show me the updated records, like how many records were taken from where. So 5,191 records from the consumer, that means the source, and 9,994 records from the orders sheet, that is the actual data set. Now it's going to take a few seconds, and here you can see the percentage of the process that has been completed, and along with this you can see the memory that it is being occupied. Right now it's 4.9 GB. So let's just give it a few seconds and see what happens when it's fully run. So let us meet after it's completed fully, after it's fully executed. Now the whole process has run, and you can see due to the browse tool we are able to see that the first row, that was row ID initially, has been changed to serial number, and now we are getting the combination of the records, that is target, the number of rows of the target multiplied by the number of rows of the source. So this is the total number of records that we are getting, and this is the size, that is 7.9 GB. So this is how the append fields tool or the Cartesian join works in Alteryx. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.